Are you a cash-based physical therapist and you're interested in learning about what separates the top 1% of all successful cash-based physical therapists, business owners, and you're trying to figure out how do you compare to those? Well, I'm here to answer that question. My name is Garcia. I help cash-based physical therapists like yourself improve their clinical outcomes, thrive in business, and ultimately do the things that they enjoy doing, which is creating an impact on people's lives. When you actually look at what the most successful cash-based physical therapists do, and that's creating outcomes, it's creating an experience, it's the clinical skills, it's a little bit of everything. And if you're trying to figure out what it is that you're missing, you have to look at what are the key elements that really separate the most successful individuals from those who are doing the side hustles and they're just along here for the ride and they won't be here long term because they can't cut it. And if you're concerned about that or you're aware of that, this video is going to be perfect for you. If you look at the top 1%, these are people who have been able to do it. They've been able to bring on other cash-based physical therapists. They have been able to make themselves known as the expert in their community. And you might be along that journey 5 to 10 years in. This is your first year, you're a third year trying to figure out how to do that. And what the top 1% do not do is they don't focus on clinical skills. This is not about a game about how many certifications can I have, how many letters behind my name can I do, and how many courses should I take to be able to do this. And that's great from a professional standpoint, but the top 1% do something just a little different, and that's really maximize that patient experience. And when you think about that, I'm not talking about just in the session, it's everything that goes into, imagine yourself going to Disneyland, imagine yourself going to a vacation. What did you have to do inside planning for that? You probably went on YouTube, you looked at everything you possibly could, you thought about every element that you were going to go to and created maybe an itinerary. Then you went to the website, you registered for tickets, and they now gave you information about what to expect. They said, this is the process, this is how it's going to be, here's the pool, here's the veranda, here's everything that you need to know. And when you were the consumer or the customer, you've now realized, gosh, all that emotion, all that energy that went into creating such an incredible experience, that crescendo where from time of purchase, you got excited and you looked forward to that every step of the way. And when you finally got to the vacation, it was now going to be a rising crescendo or the end of it, and you crash. And that comes down to, was the hotel great? Was the flight great? Was the food great? Was Disneyland great? All those things that go into that, basically matching your expectations. And if you don't achieve that, that's really where will people come back. And the top 1% of cash-based business owners can do that really well. They can create anticipation, they can create an amazing experience, deliver on those things, and then have people wanting to come back. So somewhere inside that element, you're being challenged, right? So if you just look at the clinical skill development, that would be the equivalent of the ride at Disneyland. Like, was the ride good enough? But was there any anticipation? Was there a crescendo of expectations coming into it? Was that patient or that customer excited about coming in? And if they weren't, you weren't able to deliver on that. There was no patient experience coming into it and leading up to it. And if you were relying on your clinical skills, they didn't even know what to expect. You have to understand, patients don't know what cash-based is or out-of-network is. They don't know what that means. They just want to have a solution to their problem. So if you have been relying on your clinical skills to get you there, and it's only because PT school and everything that we've been taught has trained us to do that, so you're not doing anything wrong. That worked for an insurance-based style, but now that you're trying to get more cash-paid patients on you, you're trying to be that successful cash-based business owner, you have to figure out what it is that separates that. And so think about the ride or the crescendo that goes into an insurance-based model. They were told by their physician, this person's pretty good, they're going to solve your answers or solve your problems, or they weren't even referred to you. They went through their insurance company and they were told, this is the people you could only go to, and that's cheap, easy, and at a low cost. Okay, no real crescendo there because there's not really they don't have to spend a lot, so that's great, they're saving. So there's nothing anticipatory about going to see you. And finally, when they get to see you, like, you ask, okay, what do you expect? What are you excited about? And they're like, I don't know, I was just told to come here. That type of a crescendo, think about that. That's just a flat line. And then when you you were able to amaze them, maybe with your clinical skills, your outcomes, your joking, your entire environment, that got them to go up. Now the crazy part is, can we start that from everything from your phone call down to your emails, down to when you're there, remembering their name, walking them in, saying hi, that entire process of like, wow, this is a great place. And when they're there, it's really all about them. It has nothing to do with the clinical skills. It's asking what they need, what they want, figuring that out, going through the entire process, delivering on the outcomes, and then using the skills that you've paid for, everything that you've done. It's only a small piece, maybe 10 to 20%. Delivering on those outcomes are like, wow, that was the cherry on top. So if you can get your clinical skills to be the cherry on top, the 20%, you're doing pretty well. But if you're using your clinical skills as a 80 or 90%, you're probably missing all the other elements where they were excited for it, they kept the excitement, your outcomes were delivered. Now they're thinking, wow, this is pretty incredible. Now they want to refer people to you. That is the entire experience that the top 1% of Cash PT business owners do. And wherever you're stuck, you have to figure out what element of that. And if you're thinking, gosh, I just want to focus on the clinical skills, that's why I left the insurance-based side. That was a bad reason to, because if you're looking just for more time so you can develop your clinical skills, you're better off trying to find a better insurance-based clinic where you can get more time with them. Because once people go out of network or they go into a cash-based setting, they're looking for something different. They want that element of Disneyland. They want that experience. And if you can't even deliver on that, this is probably not the industry to be going into. And if you're, a few years in and you're thinking, gosh, I've been missing that the whole part, you've probably been struggling. You've probably been able to get so far. You hit the cap on how many you can do with out-of-network style of treatment with clinical skills. And so if you're missing that piece and you're looking for something different, this is how I would outline that to you. This is how truly the cash-based companies that have been able to exist for many, many years, usually greater than 5 or usually greater than 10 years, they had something different and was not just on those clinical skills. So take your time wherever you're looking. Don't look for more CEU courses. Think about what it is that you have to do from the time of purchase of tickets, which might be even the phone call to you, all the way through that process, and what are you doing inside the clinic to just let them know that you're different. Think about if you're treating with somebody else and they're in that waiting room, what are you doing? What's the entire environment? Is there coffee? Is there music they enjoy? What is it that makes them want to come back, that you're creating that experience? And that is what the top 1% of Cash PT business owners do. And I hope this helps you along your journey so that you can continue to thrive and be successful in business. Good luck and enjoy. Hi, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for my weekly tips on treating cash pay patients, becoming that expert in your community, and thriving in business. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.